Hello everybody, and welcome to the first episode of my Minecraft Survival Let's Play series here on this realm. These first few episodes are just going to be me going through my world and going into detail for all of the places you may have seen on the cinematic tour of my world, along with a few other things. If you haven't seen my cinematic tour, there is a link in the description to it, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. Let's get into the tour. Here is the spawn of the world. This is where it all started. Me and one of my friends started this realm, and we got a pretty lucky spawn, because there was a village about 100 blocks this way, where we set up our starter base. We slightly expanded this village, and built a small wall around it. We stayed here for a couple weeks until we had enough gear to move into our new bases. A few weeks later, another one of my friends joined, and built this castle here, and this is his current base. Next we have my starter base. This is where I moved after leaving the original village where we started, which is a few hundred blocks that way. I later set up this map, and it was a huge project, but it ended up being very worth it, as you can see almost my entire world, obviously not including the nether projects and farms that needed to be built in specific areas. It shows all of the areas where I will show you later in this video. I also had my original villagers here, and it was at the start of this world where I did the bulk of my villager trading until I built my new villager system, which you will see later in the video. I had farmers, cartographers, fletchers, masons, and librarians here to do all the basic trades I needed to do at the start of the world. I also built a simple storage area to temporarily store my items. I ended up staying in this area longer than I was expecting to because I was working on other projects, but it was a very good starter base for me. Later on in the world, we started building this Chinese village. One of my friends and I came up with the design for this main building, and we both worked on the construction of the building, although we still have to design an interior. After we finished with the main tower, I started work on these next two towers. The first one here is a creeper and spider farm, fully automatic with wither roses. The second one is just a watchtower on the top of the hill, and I made a path leading all the way up to it. This path is just made out of dark prismarine slabs and dried kelp blocks, which I thought made a great path block for these Chinese buildings. I next started working on this residential area over here, again with a path leading up to it, and I added unique banners to each of these houses just to make them different, but I still have to add detail to the interiors of most, if not all, of these buildings, so look forward to that in a later episode. I then added this marketplace as well, which I added some detail to, but still needs a lot of work on. And then the last thing I added was these fisherman huts, which again are empty on the inside, but I did add fisherman docks to the end of them. Let's get on to the next thing. Next we will be looking at my ice boat racetrack. I started this very early in the world, so it is fairly small, but it does have a working countdown system, along with plenty of boats stocked up into it. But I would definitely be building a bigger ice boat racetrack later on in a different episode, over by my minigame area, which you will see later on in this episode. I also added this flag tower, and it is completely lit all the way around. Another small project that I've done is this airport. In the future, I will definitely be adding more things to this airport, such as helicopters and airplanes, as well as improving this hangar here, which I did not actually finish. And the reason I started this project was because I thought I'd like the way that the concrete powder looked as the ground of the runway, and I do. So I think so far in this project the texture has turned out well, and it will definitely be something that I'm coming back to. Now, next we will be looking at my shopping area. With only 2 other people playing on this server, it's definitely not the most profitable, but I do enjoy building all of these little shops, and I started this very early on in this server, so a couple of the builds are pretty simple because I hadn't really gotten used to building yet, and I didn't have very good building materials. Here is my shulker shop. I'm standing on top of my rocket shop right now. I have a golden carrot shop over there, a bone shop, which is a skull, and then a wool shop over there, which sells all the different types and colors of wool, which I get from my wool farm. A trident shop over there. I sell fully enchanted tridents. Sea pickle shop, TNT shop, and then here I'll show you some of the other ones. Here is my iron shop, which is just an iron golem head. My end and nether shop, which sells things like end rods, purple blocks, end stone, nether quartz, quartz blocks, nether bricks, stuff like that. And then here, let's look at my ice shop here. I just sell packed ice and blue ice. They're pretty expensive right now because I don't have an ice farm, but I do mine those to stock that. Again, these shops aren't very profitable, but I do enjoy building them. Here in my ocean shop, I sell everything that I get from my guardian farm, sea lanterns, prismarine blocks, and prismarine. Again, another simple design. Built this pretty early on in the season as well. Here we have my honey shop. Sells all the different honey blocks that I made after the 1.15 update when I made a bee farm. Selling things like honey blocks and honey bottles, beehives, and honeycomb blocks. Next we have this mine shop here that I made. I was going to put things like redstone and lapis in there, but I haven't really had an abundance of those, so I haven't stocked that yet. Plus, I don't think there would be much of an interest. And then the shop that I made the most diamonds out from here is my bookshop, and that's because I'm really the only one on this server that has a lot of villagers to trade with. So I stock those, and that's where I made the bulk of my diamonds in the shops from. So yeah, let's go look at my last two little shops that I've built most recently. My birch tree shop and my flower shop. Just started both of these again. This is very, very simple design. Still need to add a bunch of stuff to it, but it is selling birch plugs there. And then the latest project that I've worked on in this area is this flower, which is my flower and dye shop. I did actually complete this. I got this all stocked up with the flowers that I get from my flower farm. So yeah, that's my shopping area. Again, not very profitable, but yeah, it's nice to have, and I enjoy building it. Here we have my main base. I started working on this a couple months into this world, and I actually finished it fairly quickly. It took a lot of terracotta, a lot of glass, and a lot of smooth quartz. But I do like the way it turned out. I wasn't originally planning on having the carpets there, but I was having some problems with mobs spawning, and I actually ended up liking the way that the blue looked. Over here on each side of it, we have 4 different biomes: the grass, the ice, the sand, and the terracotta. And then down these 4, it goes down into my mining area, which I mined out, and with the haste beacons. Actually, on that side, I have a slime farm. There actually happened to be a slime chunk right in one of these that I noticed while I was building, so I turned that into a small slime farm. It's not very efficient, but it is good. And then inside here, we have a fully item sorting system. I'll show you the redstone from the top. See here? All I do is put the items into the chests in the middle, and they sort out into their different places with an overflow at the end. All the items just go into this chest here. I can just put whatever I want in here, and it will sort out into the system. So here I am flying into my new city area. This is one of the newest projects that I've started, and I haven't done a whole lot to it, but I have added some towers. Here's the casino, actually, with a couple working machines. The first one is a diamond block machine, which you throw a diamond in, and there is a 1 in 9 chance that you will get a diamond block out. I didn't get it that time. And then this is the 50-50 diamond machine, where you throw a diamond in, and you have a 50-50 chance to either get 1 diamond back, 2 diamonds back, or no diamonds back. I got 1 diamond that time, 1 diamond that time, and 1 diamond again. So let's go look at the other towers. These 2 here in the front definitely need some detail added. I'm not done with these 2. The one behind that, I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. I might add some stuff to the interior of that. Then this here is an apartment building, also needs some interior work. So yeah, these 2 buildings need a little more detail. And then behind here, I have a pretty simple bridge. It just connects the 2 parts together over this river. And yeah, that's my city area. Definitely still a work in progress, but I do think it's coming along pretty well. So now I'm flying into my minigame area on top of this giant snowball that I made on top of my snowball minigame. And yeah, this is where I've been putting the majority of my time into these last few weeks. I've just been having a lot of fun building minigames over here. This minigame is actually a snowball minigame. Each player starts out with some snowballs, then you knock each other down each layer all the way until you get to the bottom. Haven't actually played this one yet, just finished this a couple days ago, but yeah, it should be a cool game to play. Over here we have my mini golf, and I finished the first 9 holes. Obviously still need to build the last 9 holes, but Yeah, we can still play the first 9 right now. Basically, how you play is you just throw your item down the green, which is ice, so it slides. And if it hits yellow or red, yellow slows it down and red stops it. And basically just try to make it in the hole with as little shots as possible. Now flying over here to my newest thing that I've started, and that is a dropper course. If you haven't seen a dropper, you basically just jump down and try to get to the bottom while avoiding the obstacles. Obviously, I haven't put any obstacles in yet, but I did finish the outline, and that goes all the way down to bedrock. Now let's go look at some of my smaller mini games. Here is my Connect 4 minigame. I designed this myself. It took a lot longer since I designed it myself, but getting all the buttons next to each other without having the redstone collide was a pretty big project, but it turned out really cool. So I'll just show you how this works. You can hit slot 5 this side, slot 1 this side, and it'll push down blue slot 1, red slot 5. So yeah, you can just play Connect 4 like that. Let's go look at some other ones. I have my roller coaster here. Actually, pretty simple slime block coaster, but it's cool. Slime block will just launch you along as you go. And then over here, we have my mini maze, which if you haven't seen this before, I forget where I first saw this, but it's a really cool effect. If you fill an entire map with a white material, and then you put the map on item frames in all directions, it adds that really cool effect. So now let's fly over. See my hedge maze here. This was a really fun project. There's light sources under all of the leaf blocks, so it keeps it perfectly illuminated. And yeah, it's a very tough maze to get through, but it was a really cool project. Now here is a project that I'm very happy I did. Wasn't sure how well it would turn out, but basically I have my villager breeder in the middle, and all these villagers are my masons on this one, and they all give me quartz, and I needed a lot of quartz from my nether hub, which you will see later in the video. And then these guys are all the librarians, but the thing that's special about these is I only kept the villagers that trade for glass, so it's very easy for me to get massive amounts of glass at a time once I have enough emeralds to do so. And then on this one, on these 2 rows, I did the same with farmers, but with pumpkins. So I only kept the farmers here that trade for pumpkins. So I have a massive pumpkin farm, and I just trade all the pumpkins there to get emeralds from my villagers. Now flying back over here to look at the last couple of mini games. Looks like I'm out of rockets, but I'll pick some up. Flying over here to my sheep mini game. Forget where I saw this first design, but put my little own spin on it. But it's a cool game. Basically, you and one of your friends can pick a color, and if the sheep goes to your color, you win. See, yeah, she went to green this time. So if you picked green, you would have won. So you just press the button, turn the lever off to get him back into his cage, and yeah, that's how that minigame worked. So let me pick up some rockets, and I'll show you the Colosseum. So I got some more rockets, and I'm flying over here to our replica of the Roman Colosseum, and this is also our PvP arena. So I've added some features here to make it better for PvP. So you go into each player starts in one of these rooms, and you get a wooden sword, an iron helmet, 8 bread, and 16 arrows to start with. And then once the round starts, you can come out here and press the button to get upgraded gear, such as swords, golden apples, upgraded armor, and bows. And there are wither roses and berry bushes around to hurt you. And that's it for our minigame area. So now flying into the last thing that was shown on the map, which is my other friend's base. This is the friend who started out the world with me, and after we moved out of the village, he moved here to a larger sand village, and he started building his base. He started out by building this massive ziggurat here, and then later built the massive tower next to it. Right now the tower is empty, and he has his storage room in the ziggurat, and then he built his farms here, potatoes, carrots, and pumpkins, and then he built a water port here with a mansion there over to the left he just started. And if we go down here, he has all of his villagers. Doesn't have a whole lot of villagers, but has a few that he can use. A lot of iron golems down here. But yeah, so this is where he stays for the most of the time, and he's working on a few projects over here. So here I am at my main nether hub. We have some tunnels running out of it that go to my different farms and such. That one goes to my main AFK farms, with this portal right next to me being my starter base. And then over here is the shopping area portal. And then further this way is my main base. I had a creeper accident here the other day. I need to fix that up. And then flying over here, we get to all the minigame portals. This one is the city and casino portal first, and then gets to the mini golf portal, the snowball game portal, the Colosseum portal, and then my villager trading portal. Obviously, don't have villager portals to everything, but it goes to the main things. That's the sand base over there. This goes to the end, and then in that back corner there is just a random village where I was getting some villagers from. So yeah, this Nether project was definitely a massive project, but I think it ended up being worth it in the end. It's quite convenient to just fly around and get around in here. Alright, back here at my main base, and I just want to say thank you guys very, very much for watching this first episode of my Survival Let's Play series. Obviously didn't get much done in this episode, but just showing you guys around what I've done leading up to this Let's Play. Showing you guys through all my stuff. So again, thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in a couple days with the next episode showing you all of my farms.